Hello, I'm Thomas Tulak, and this is Filmmakering Like a Boss. Now, I don't claim to be an expert, but I am an award-winning filmmaker, and more than that, I have a passion for filmmaking, which is really all you need to get started. In the last couple of videos, I've been discussing the 5 methods of directing attention, and in the last video, I even mentioned how you can combine techniques with using the example of the film Unbreakable. Say what you will about M. Night Shyamalan, but his technique is on point. He's absolutely a master at directing attention. I've said it many times, watching somebody else's work and studying what they do is one of the best ways to learn. So with that in mind, I wholeheartedly suggest that you watch M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable. And while you're watching it, specifically watch for the 5 techniques of directing attention that I've covered in the past couple of videos. Pay attention to what he does to get you to look right where he wants you to look and notice what he wants you to notice. You'll notice how he never really just uses one technique. Whenever he wants you to notice something that's really important, he'll use multiple techniques and combine them together to get you to look specifically at the one thing. He'll have like one subject standing perfectly still, creating a frame for another subject who's moving back and forth. Or he'll have a moving object with a light color suddenly create a frame for a subject standing still in a dark color. And thus we have arrived on the subject for this episode. Misdirecting attention. This is where you want the audience to notice one thing in the shot, but you also kind of want them to notice something else in the shot too. To do this effectively, you would use multiple techniques and assign each subject a different technique. The easiest way to do that is with depth of field and movement. Take a look at this clip from one of my short films, where you can see that the phone is on the right third of the screen and in focus, creating a frame for Rocky in the background in the left 2/3 of the screen, out of focus and moving around. Because the phone is in focus and taking up an entire third of the screen, you notice that right off. But because Rocky in the background is not only in a frame, but moving around, even though he is out of focus, you still notice him and you still see what he's doing. This suggests that I want you to pay attention to both of these subjects and that they are related to each other somehow. I want you to pay attention to the phone, but also notice that in the background, Rocky is casually listening to his messages while he prepares himself a drink.
Next message.
Devin, your editor here. Hey, I just talked.
Here's a shot from another one of my short films, my most recent one that was made for 48 Film Project 2016. Link in the place where links generally are. Hintity hint hint. In this shot, Dana is in focus on the right 2/3 of the screen while she's grieving, and behind her, in the left 1/3 of the screen, out of focus, Matt steps into frame. And because of the motion of him stepping in the frame, and because of the white shirt that he's wearing, even though he's out of focus, you still notice him. Now check out this shot from my absolute favorite web series, Platoon of Power Squadron. If you're not watching this show, you are clearly missing out on some of the best that the internet has to offer. Like, as soon as you're done watching this video, go watch that show. I'll even put a link in the place where links generally are, Platoon of Power Squadron. But the deal is you gotta go check it out, okay? Good. Deal. In this shot, you'll see Carl's hand on the left 2/3 of the screen in focus, creating a frame for Carl's face in the background on the right third of the screen, out of focus, but the motion of his eye gooping out the side of his face catches your attention, even though it's out of focus. Now, this is related. In the two subjects are related because you can tell whatever is happening to his eye. Look at his hand. He's squeezing it real. Whatever is happening to his eye, it hurts, and you can see that in his hand. This right here is just fantastic cinematography, filmmaking at its finest. And aside from being a very effective way to direct and misdirect our attention, it just looks really cool. Being able to direct where your audience pays their attention and then split that attention between multiple subjects is a very powerful tool in any filmmaker's arsenal and will take your film to a whole new level. And of course, I have a lot more to say about it, but I just can't give it all away in one video. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can follow along on the next episode of Filmmakering Like a Boss.
Hey, I owe you!
Here at the end screen, I'd like to invite you to check out some of my filmmakering in action by clicking on one of these links over here. Each one of these links will take you to a playlist for each individual respective thing. I would also like to ask you to visit our Patreon page and consider supporting EAGproductions in future projects on Patreon at this link that's right down here. Thank you for watching The Easily Amused Group, the show that is the only survivor of the train wreck, and it doesn't seem to have a scratch on it.